Hello, Jake the Dev here. So today we'll be learning about menus. Now there are three types of menus. There's the options menu, the context menu, and then there are pop-up menus. So the only way to make an option menu, at least that I'm aware of, they're constrained to the app bar. So if you need an options menu, then you have to have the app bar. If you want a context menu, you have to register it. And then the pop-up menu can be made wherever. So what I've done here is I've created a new activity, and it is a basic activity. And I know that we're going to be using some strings, so let's go ahead and make a few. So all of these I'm going to prefix with title, since they are going to be titles of those items. So title underscore create underscore new. Then this is going to be create new. This one is going to be title underscore open. This one's just going to be open. This one, it's going to be title underscore move underscore to move to. And this one's going to be title underscore save underscore as. Save as. And we're just going to have two more. This one's going to be title underscore click underscore me. And this is going to be just click me. Then this one's going to be click underscore me underscore to. Click me to. Okay, so that's it for the strings. Now let's make the menus. We have in here already, we've got our main menu, and that's what the options menu is going to use. We don't want to use this same thing exactly, but to make things interesting, I would like to add a few more items. So we're going to add, and Android Studio gets mad at me if I create an item that has an opening and closing tag when I could just self-close. Okay, so this one we're going to call it item underscore create underscore new, and this one's is just going to be a title, and we're going to do string create new, title create new. And I'm going to copy this whole thing. Now this one's just going to be item open. And the title is just going to be title underscore open. There we go. So I don't want to create files from scratch, so I'm just going to copy, paste. So this one is going to be our context. Context underscore menu. Okay, and this one, instead of action settings, this one's name is going to be item. And that's going to be title move to. All right, and here, this one's going to be item underscore save underscore save underscore as. And this one's just going to be the same thing. Title underscore save as. And I think that's all we're going to have for that menu. All right, so we have our options menu and our context menu, and I'm just going to use the context menu file to make our pop-up menu. Sorry about that. We want to copy the whole thing. Then I'm going to click here and do paste. Instead of context menu, we're going to do pop-up. Pop-up underscore menu. Okay, so then it's going to be item underscore me, title, click me. And since this one is just an underscore too, I'm going to copy that. Okay, so we have our 3 files with our 3 different kinds of menus. Now we're going to actually use content main. But before we do that, I'm going to get rid of the floating action button because we're not going to be using that. And that also means that we need to go to our main activity here and get rid of that on click listener. Okay, so now before we get into the activity logic, let's add the scaffolding for our menus. And by that I mean a list view and a button. We have our content main here, and we're going to get rid of this text view. In fact, let's make it a list view. Let's see. So we want to give it an ID. And it's just going to be lowercase list view. Okay, so let's see if this matches what we need. So layout width and layout height need wrap content. That's good. Text, we're not going to do that, but we are going to do constraint layout underscore constraint end to, well, we're going to use horizontal bias too, so let's just do that one first. So we have top to top of parent, we want to keep that one. To right of, we're not going to left of. Constraint. We want constraint top to top of, and we want constraint start to start of. So we have start, we've got, and then, okay, so let's add our other view here. We've got more to add on the list view, but I want to make the button first before we do, because we use part of that. So we have a button, and we're going to give it an ID, and this is just going to be pop up. You know what, but it needs to have the plus ID. Pop up button. So text is just going to be pop up. I really should have done that in the strings file, but I'm not gonna go back and do it. So we'll just leave it there. So we've got the ID, we've got the wrap content on both the width and the height, we've got the text. Now we need margin, layout margin top, and that's going to be 8 dp. And then we want constraint end to end of parent. We want top underscore to top of parent. Yeah, that's good. So now we're going to go back to our list view here, because I know there's some things that aren't right. So to start of, and then to top of, and it's not bottom of, it's constraint end, constraint end to start of. Constraint end to start of ID pop-up button. Now when we go back to the design, yeah, there we go. We see we've got our list and we've got our pop-up button right there. Perfect. Okay, so let's take a look at the options menu. So the basic activity layout, which we've chosen here, includes an app bar at the top with a hamburger options menu already on it. So let's take a look at that. Oh, forgot to add the IDs here. Then I probably did it wrong in all of those. So give me just a moment. All right, let's try this again. Got to make sure that you add the plus ID when you're doing the ID. Okay. So this is what I was talking about, this hamburger menu right here. And they call it a hamburger menu because it looks like a hamburger. This doesn't. It looks like an upside down, a rotated ellipsis. But that's what that's called. It's a hamburger menu. So then we have all those options that we put in there. So create new, open, and settings. Perfect. So that's where your options menu will be. Okay, so let's make our context menu. So the context menu works on lists mostly. So I found Google documentation that said you could use any view, but it kind of lied, and I'll show you. So first here we're going to I'm going to do a private val names. And we're going to do an array of my name, Henry, Greg. Forgot the quotes. Jane, Monty, Peter, Paul, Mary. So right below here we can get a hold of our list view. So there's an adapter on it. And so this is where we put our list. But we can't just shove it in there willy-nilly. We have to say, we have to cast it as an array adapter. I guess not cast as, we are making an array adapter object. So it needs context, and context more often than not is this. So this, and then we're going to have Android dot R dot layout. Dot simple list item 1, and then we pass, lastly we need our array of items, and so we just pass in the names. Okay, and like I said before, we need to register it, and there is a method for registering that, and it's called the register for context menu, and then you just pass in the view. So we pass in the view that we want to register, which is our list view. So if we're doing that, we also need, so on create context menu, we need two methods here. So we need to call super, and that's fine. But we also need the menu inflator, and we say inflate. We do r dot menu dot context menu. So that's the menu that we made, and then we need to pass in menu, which is the local variable, I believe. Yep, it's right there. All right, so besides that, besides overriding that method, we need to overwrite one more, and that's on context item selected. So there is something here called an adapter context menu info. So we can get some information from, if we do item dot menu info, then we can cast that as adapter view dot adapter context menu info. Then we can get some stuff from this. So we can get the ID of whatever it is, the position, and the target view. That is if we need to use that. I'm just going to leave that for now. But then we're going to return when. We're going to do item.item ID. So we're just going to return true. No, we're not. So the when is like the switch statement. So then we need to go through all of like what ID it is. And so I know there were a few that we added. ID item, and the context menu was move to. So this is how we do when, or the Kotlin switch statement. So we need to return a Boolean. So you can put logic here for like changing the view or whatever you want it to do. and then we just return true. So at the bottom here, else we're going to return whatever the super would return, which I assume is just true. Sorry, that needed to be a save call because we're getting a nullable item here, so we need to make sure we pass that question mark on. Okay, so now that we have those two things, we should be able to take a look at. We should be able to build it and see what we got. Okay, so there are our list of names. Now to activate, we do a long press. So I'm going to long press on my name, and there's our context menu, and then we can pick one of those. Okay, great. So let's do the pop-up menu now. To do the pop-up menu, we need to inherit from, we need to implement an interface. That was what I was looking for. So we do a comma, and then we do pop-up menu dot on menu item click listener. So then we're going to go red right here, and it's mad because we haven't implemented all of the methods, and we had a, there we go, implement members. So I'm going to click on that one. If you had multiple, you hold down shift and click them all and then hit OK. So now we have an on menu item click. And I'm going to put that right here. So right here, we're going to get a hold of our pop-up button, and we're going to set an on-click listener. So we're going to make a method right here, and this is going to be called show pop up menu. And we're going to pass it a view. We're going to pass in a view, and it's not going to be a nullable view, it's just going to be a regular view. So what we're going to do, pop-up menu, and we're going to pass it context, and we're going to pass it the view we were passed. Oh, V. My bad. And so we do pop-up menu and then apply. And here we do set on menu item click listener. And instead of that, we're going to do parentheses, and we're going to do this at main activity. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but let me explain this label. And that's what that's called in this context. If this at symbol were above a method, then it would be an annotation, but this is a label. So since we are inside pop-up menu, the keyword this could refer to the pop-up menu class, and we have the listener set up on our main activity, so we want to tell the application we want the listener on the main activity. And then we can override the on menu item click method. So this is just saying that we want to return from our main activity, not from the pop-up menu. Well, that we want to set up, if we were, because you can do returns this way too. So sorry, I misspoke. So it's undo. There we go. So this is just saying set up the menu click listener on our main activity is this. And then we want to do inflate. And we want to reference r.menu.popup menu. Perfect. Then we want to show it. So then we have this on menu item click, and it's going to be the same as this. Not exactly the same, because we're not going to do action settings. ID item click me. And we're not going to call the super on that one. Abstract member cannot be accessed directly. Okay. This is going to be underscore 2. So if we were doing logic, so we would need to add one of these and then do logic here, but we still need to return true. All right. So that should be it for our menu. Let's go ahead and do an instant run and see if we could get our pop-up menu to show up. Instant run applied code changes and restarted the app. Okay, let's see. All right, so we've got our pop-up. If we click that. Oh, okay. Yeah, see in here? So we set the on-click listener, but we didn't say, hey, you need to call show pop-up menu. And we actually need the view. So we say view, and we do the little arrow, and then we pass in the view. All right. Sorry about that. Now we'll try it one more time. Click pop up, boom, click me too. So there you are. There are the 3 types of menus. So if you have any further questions on this, go ahead and send me an email, or you can comment on the YouTube video below, or contact me in class. All right, thank you very much.